Welcome to WooEnglish. In this story, you'll learn English through clear and simple sentences. We encourage you to write comments and share your thoughts. If you enjoy the story, please press the like button to reward us. It really helps us out. Remember, the purpose of this story is educational. We want to help you improve your English while enjoying an exciting tale. We do not encourage or glorify the actions of the characters involved. Let's begin the journey together. Chapter 1. Early Life and Education. Stephen Hawking was born on January 8, 1942, in Oxford, England. His parents, Frank and Isabel Hawking, were both academically inclined. Frank was a medical researcher, and Isabel worked as a secretary at a medical research institute. They valued education and curiosity, which they passed on to their children. Stephen was the eldest of 4 siblings. From a young age, Stephen showed a deep interest in the world around him. Growing up, the Hawking household was unusual. The family often spent their evenings reading quietly. They didn't own a television, but they had a large collection of books. They enjoyed discussing topics ranging from science to politics. This environment nurtured Stephen's inquisitive nature. As a child, Stephen was not particularly exceptional in school. In fact, he was initially considered an average student. He attended St. Albans School, where he was known for his playful and somewhat mischievous behaviour. Despite this, Stephen's curiosity about the universe was evident. He loved to read books on science and often asked questions that puzzled even his teachers. Stephen's early education was marked by a love for building and experimenting. He and his friends constructed model airplanes and boats, showing a keen interest in how things worked. This hands-on approach to learning would later become a significant part of his scientific method. One story from his childhood stands out. When Stephen was 9 years old, he and his friends built a computer out of old clock parts, a telephone switchboard, and other recycled materials. They called it the Hawking machine. This invention demonstrated his early fascination with complex systems and his ability to see connections between seemingly unrelated parts. Despite his love for science, Stephen's academic performance was not always stellar. He preferred playing board games and inventing new ones rather than doing his homework. His teachers recognized his potential, but were often frustrated by his lack of effort. One teacher famously remarked that if Stephen did not learn to focus, he would never amount to anything. Little did they know how wrong they would be. When Stephen was 13, his father wanted him to attend Westminster School, a prestigious institution in London. However, Stephen fell ill on the day of the scholarship exam and did not win a place. Instead, he continued his education at St. Albans School. Despite this setback, Stephen's passion for learning remained undiminished. It was during his time at St. Albans that Stephen developed a deeper interest in mathematics and physics. Inspired by a teacher who made the subjects come alive, he began to see the beauty in equations and theories. He read works by famous scientists like Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton, which fueled his desire to understand the universe. Stephen's determination to learn more about the cosmos led him to apply to Oxford University. At the age of 17, he won a scholarship to study natural sciences at University College, Oxford. This was a significant achievement and marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. Oxford was a challenging environment for Stephen. The academic standards were high, and he struggled initially. However, His innate curiosity and passion for physics helped him overcome these challenges. He found the lectures dull and often skipped them, preferring to study on his own. Despite his unconventional approach to learning, Stephen's brilliance began to shine through. During his time at Oxford, Stephen joined the university rowing team. Rowing provided a physical outlet and helped him make friends. It also taught him discipline and teamwork. These experiences were crucial in shaping his character and approach to problem solving. One of Stephen's most significant influences at Oxford was his tutor, Robert Burman. Burman recognized Stephen's potential and encouraged him to think independently. Under Burman's guidance, Stephen's interest in theoretical physics deepened. He began to explore complex concepts and developed a keen interest in cosmology, the study of the universe's origin and development. In his final year at Oxford, Stephen faced an important examination that would determine his degree classification. Known as the finals, these exams were notoriously difficult. Stephen, true to his nature, did not follow the conventional preparation methods. He spent little time revising, but instead focused on understanding the core principles of his subjects. When the exam results were announced, Stephen's performance was extraordinary. He achieved first-class honours, a remarkable accomplishment given his unconventional study habits. This success paved the way for his next academic journey, pursuing a PhD at Cambridge University. Stephen's acceptance into Cambridge was a dream come true. He joined the Department of Applied Mathematics and Theoretical Physics, where he could immerse himself in the study of cosmology. It was here that Stephen's life took a dramatic turn, both academically and personally. While Stephen's early years were marked by curiosity and playful experimentation, his time at university began to shape him into the scientist he would become. His journey from an average student to an Oxford graduate with first-class honours demonstrated his potential. It set the stage for his future contributions to science. Stephen's story is a testament to the power of curiosity and determination. Despite early setbacks and unconventional methods, his passion for understanding the universe never wavered. His early life and education were just the beginning of a remarkable journey that would change our understanding of the cosmos. Chapter 2. Discovering Physics. Stephen Hawking stood at the gates of Cambridge University with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. He had just arrived from Oxford, where he had completed his undergraduate studies with first-class honours. Now, he was about to embark on a new journey, one that would take him deeper into the mysteries of the universe. Cambridge was renowned for its contributions to science, and Stephen was eager to join the Department of Applied Mathematics and Theoretical Physics. Stephen's first days at Cambridge were overwhelming. The university was full of brilliant minds, and the academic environment was intense. He was surrounded by students and professors who lived and breathed physics. Stephen felt a bit out of place at first, but his curiosity and passion for learning kept him going. One of the most significant influences on Stephen during his early days at Cambridge was his advisor, Dennis Sciama. Sciama was a prominent physicist who recognized Stephen's potential. He encouraged Stephen to think deeply about the big questions in cosmology, the study of the universe's origins and structure. One day, during a lecture on black holes, Stephen found himself utterly captivated. The professor explained how these mysterious objects, with their immense gravitational pull, could trap even light. Stephen's mind raced with questions. How could something so powerful exist? What did this mean for our understanding of the universe? These questions ignited a spark within him, and he decided that he wanted to dedicate his life to exploring such mysteries. Outside of his studies, Stephen's health began to show troubling signs. He often felt clumsy and would occasionally trip and fall. One evening, while returning to his dormitory, he fell down a flight of stairs. This incident alarmed him, but he brushed it off, attributing it to his inherent clumsiness. However, these episodes became more frequent, and Stephen decided it was time to see a doctor. The doctor's visit marked the beginning of a challenging period for Stephen. After a series of tests, he was diagnosed with ALS, a neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. The prognosis was grim. Most patients with ALS had a life expectancy of just a few years. This news was devastating for Stephen, who was only 21 years old. Despite the diagnosis, Stephen refused to let it define him. He threw himself into his studies with even more determination. If he had limited time, he wanted to make it count. His illness motivated him to focus on what he loved most: physics. He began working on his PhD thesis, choosing to explore the origins of the universe, a topic that fascinated him deeply. Stephen's work ethic was extraordinary. He spent countless hours in the library, poring over books and research papers. He engaged in intense discussions with his peers and professors, always eager to challenge and refine his ideas. His illness made simple tasks difficult, but he adapted. He used a wheelchair and later a voice synthesizer to communicate. These tools became part of his life, but they did not hinder his progress. As Stephen delved deeper into his studies, he began to develop new theories about black holes. His mind was always racing, connecting dots that others hadn't seen. One of his most significant contributions was the idea that black holes were not entirely black. Instead, they emitted radiation, which later became known as Hawking radiation. This theory challenged existing notions and opened up new avenues of research in theoretical physics. Stephen's brilliance did not go unnoticed. His peers and professors were amazed by his insights and the originality of his work. Despite his physical limitations, his intellectual capabilities were boundless. He was not just a student at Cambridge. He was becoming a leading thinker in the field of cosmology. Outside the classroom, Stephen's personal life continued to evolve. He had met Jane Wilde, a fellow student, at a party shortly before his diagnosis. Their relationship blossomed, and Jane became a pillar of support for Stephen. She stood by him through his health challenges, encouraging him to keep pursuing his dreams. Their bond was strong, and their partnership would prove crucial in the years to come. One memorable moment in Stephen's journey at Cambridge occurred during a presentation of his work on black holes. The room was filled with esteemed physicists, all eager to hear what this young scholar had to say. Stephen, using his voice synthesizer, explained his theory with clarity and conviction. The audience was spellbound. When he finished, the room erupted in applause. It was a moment of recognition for Stephen, a validation of his hard work and intellect. Despite the accolades, Stephen remained humble. He knew that the journey of discovery was ongoing and that there were still many questions to answer. His illness progressed, but his mind remained sharp. He continued to push the boundaries of our understanding of the universe, driven by an insatiable curiosity. Stephen's time at Cambridge was transformative. It was here that he transitioned from an average student to a dedicated scholar. His fascination with physics grew into a lifelong commitment to uncovering the mysteries of the cosmos. He faced immense challenges, both academically and personally, but his resilience and determination never wavered. As he looked up at the night sky, filled with stars and endless possibilities, Stephen felt a profound connection to the universe. He knew that his work was just a small part of a much larger puzzle, but that did not deter him. Instead, it inspired him to keep asking questions, to keep seeking answers, and to keep exploring the wonders of the cosmos. Chapter 4. Love and Marriage. Stephen Hawking was 21 years old when he met Jane Wilde. It was 1962, and they both attended a New Year's Eve party. Jane was a friend of Stephen's sister, and she was immediately drawn to Stephen's bright eyes and quick wit. Stephen, despite his shyness, was captivated by Jane's lively spirit and warmth. At this time, Stephen had already been diagnosed with ALS, a disease that would eventually rob him of his physical abilities. The doctors had given him only a few years to live. But Stephen did not let this grim news define him. He continued with his studies, driven by a passion for understanding the universe. Jane and Stephen began to see each other more often. They went on walks, attended concerts, and shared their thoughts and dreams. Jane was studying languages, and Stephen was delving deep into the mysteries of cosmology. Their conversations were rich and varied, blending science, literature, and music. They found joy in each other's company, and their bond grew stronger. Despite Stephen's illness, Jane saw his potential and brilliance. She admired his resilience and was determined to support him. Stephen, in turn, found comfort and strength in Jane's presence. Their relationship blossomed amidst the backdrop of Cambridge's academic life. Stephen's condition was slowly worsening. He started using a walking stick and eventually needed a wheelchair. These changes were challenging, but Jane stood by his side. She helped him with everyday tasks and encouraged him to keep pursuing his research. Her unwavering support was a source of immense strength for Stephen. In 1964, after 2 years of courtship, Stephen proposed to Jane. It was a simple and heartfelt proposal, reflecting their deep connection. Jane said yes, knowing the difficulties they would face, but also believing in their love and Stephen's potential. They decided to get married the following year. Their wedding day, July 14, 1965, was a joyous occasion. Family and friends gathered to celebrate their union. Stephen, in his wheelchair, and Jane, in a beautiful white dress, exchanged vows in a small church. They promised to support and love each other through all the challenges life might bring. After the wedding, the newlyweds moved into a modest home in Cambridge. Life was not easy. Stephen's condition continued to decline, and he needed more care. Jane took on the role of caregiver, managing the household and helping Stephen with his physical needs. Despite these challenges, they found happiness in their shared love and mutual respect. Jane's support allowed Stephen to focus on his work. He continued his research on black holes and the origins of the universe. His groundbreaking theories began to gain recognition, and he started to make a name for himself in the scientific community. Jane was always there, cheering him on and providing the support he needed to keep going. In 1967, Jane and Stephen welcomed their first child, a son named Robert. Parenthood brought new challenges, but also great joy. Jane balanced her role as a mother with caring for Stephen and supporting his career. She often stayed up late, tending to Robert and then helping Stephen with his work. Their family life was filled with love and resilience. Stephen's fame grew, and so did the demands on his time. He travelled to conferences, gave lectures, and published papers. Jane managed the household and took care of their growing family. They had 2 more children, Lucy in 1970 and Timothy in 1979. Each new addition brought more joy and more responsibility. Through it all, Jane remained a pillar of strength. She faced immense challenges, but never wavered in her support for Stephen. Their relationship was not without its strains. The demands of Stephen's illness and his growing fame put pressure on their marriage. But they always found a way to support each other and keep their family together. Jane's contributions to Stephen's success were immense. She was his caregiver, manager, and biggest supporter. Her dedication allowed Stephen to continue his work and make groundbreaking discoveries. Together, they navigated the complexities of life with grace and determination. In the late 1970s, Stephen's health took a turn for the worse. He contracted pneumonia and had to undergo a tracheotomy, a procedure that left him unable to speak. This was a devastating blow, but Jane found a way to communicate with him using a spelling board. Later, with the help of technology, Stephen used a computer and voice synthesizer to speak. Jane was instrumental in helping him adapt to these changes. Despite the increasing challenges, Stephen's work flourished. He wrote A Brief History of Time, a book that explained complex scientific concepts in simple terms. The book became a bestseller, making Stephen a household name. Jane's support during this time was crucial. She managed the household, cared for their children, and ensured that Stephen could focus on his writing. As the years went by, the strains on their marriage became more apparent. The constant demands of Stephen's illness, his growing fame, and the pressures of raising a family took a toll on their relationship. In the mid-1980s, Stephen and Jane decided to separate. It was a difficult decision, but they remained committed to their children and to supporting each other in their respective endeavours. Jane's role in Stephen's life cannot be overstated. She was his partner, caregiver, and biggest advocate. Her support allowed him to achieve great things and make significant contributions to science. Their love story, marked by resilience and mutual respect, is an inspiring testament to the power of love and dedication. Stephen and Jane's journey together was not easy, but it was filled with moments of joy, discovery, and profound connection. Their marriage, though strained by extraordinary challenges, was a partnership built on love and mutual respect. Jane's unwavering support was a cornerstone of Stephen's success, enabling him to pursue his passion for understanding the universe. Chapter 5. The Birth of Black Hole Theory. Stephen Hawking's fascination with the cosmos only grew deeper as he continued his research at Cambridge University. Among the many mysteries of the universe, black holes stood out as particularly enigmatic. These objects, with their immense gravitational pull, could trap anything that came too close, even light. Stephen was determined to understand them better. In the early 1970s, Stephen began to focus intensely on black holes. At that time, The scientific community knew that black holes existed, but many of their properties were still a mystery. The conventional understanding was that nothing could escape from a black hole once it crossed the event horizon, the point of no return. But Stephen was not satisfied with this explanation. He believed there was more to uncover. One day, while contemplating the nature of black holes, Stephen had a breakthrough. He realized that black holes might not be entirely black after all. Instead, they could emit radiation. This idea was revolutionary and went against the prevailing view of black holes as cosmic vacuum cleaners from which nothing could escape. Stephen's insight was based on the principles of quantum mechanics, a branch of physics that deals with the behavior of very small particles. Quantum mechanics suggested that tiny particles and antiparticles could appear and disappear near the event horizon of a black hole. In some cases, these particles could separate, with one falling into the black hole and the other escaping into space. This escaping particle would carry energy away from the black hole, causing it to lose mass over time. Stephen's calculations showed that black holes could gradually evaporate and eventually disappear completely. This radiation would later be named Hawking radiation in his honor. This theory was groundbreaking for several reasons. First, it combined two previously separate areas of physics, quantum mechanics and general relativity, the theory of gravity developed by Albert Einstein. By doing so, Stephen's work provided a new way to understand the behavior of black holes and their relationship to the rest of the universe. Second, the idea that black holes could emit radiation and lose mass challenged the conventional understanding of these mysterious objects. It opened up new possibilities for studying black holes and their role in the cosmos. Stephen's theory of black hole radiation had significant implications for the field of cosmology. It suggested that black holes were not eternal, but could eventually disappear. This raised important questions about the fate of information that fell into a black hole. According to the laws of physics, information should never be lost. But if a black hole could evaporate, what happened to the information it had swallowed? This question, known as the black hole information paradox, sparked intense debate and further research in the scientific community. Stephen's work on black hole radiation also had broader implications for our understanding of the universe. It suggested that black holes could play a role in the life cycle of stars and galaxies. For example, the radiation emitted by a black hole could affect the surrounding space, influencing the formation of new stars and planets. This interconnectedness of cosmic phenomena highlighted the complexity and beauty of the universe. Despite the groundbreaking nature of his work, Stephen faced challenges in getting his ideas accepted. Some scientists were skeptical of his theory and questioned his calculations. However, Stephen remained confident in his findings. He presented his work at conferences and published papers in scientific journals, gradually gaining recognition and support from the scientific community. One memorable moment came when Stephen presented his theory at a conference in 1974. The audience included many of the world's leading physicists, and Stephen knew that his ideas would be met with skepticism. However, as he explained his calculations and the principles behind his theory, the audience began to realize the significance of his work. By the end of his presentation, Stephen had convinced many of the skeptics, and his theory of black hole radiation was widely acknowledged as a major breakthrough. Stephen's work on black hole radiation earned him numerous accolades and awards. In 1974, he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, one of the highest honours for a scientist in the United Kingdom. This recognition was a testament to the importance of his contributions to the field of cosmology. While Stephen's professional life flourished, he continued to face personal challenges due to his illness. ALS progressively weakened his muscles, making it increasingly difficult for him to move and speak. However, he adapted to these challenges with remarkable resilience. He used a wheelchair to get around and relied on a voice synthesizer to communicate. Despite these limitations, his mind remained sharp, and he continued to push the boundaries of our understanding of the universe. Stephen's determination and passion for his work were inspiring to those around him. He was a frequent presence at conferences and academic gatherings, always eager to engage in discussions and share his ideas. His lectures were known for their clarity and wit, making complex scientific concepts accessible to a wider audience. In addition to his academic contributions, Stephen wrote several popular science books aimed at explaining his theories to the general public. One of the most famous of these is A Brief History of Time, published in 1988. The book became an international bestseller and introduced millions of readers to the wonders of cosmology. Stephen's ability to communicate complex ideas in a simple and engaging way made him a beloved figure, both within and outside the scientific community. Stephen Hawking's work on black hole radiation was a pivotal moment in the field of cosmology. It challenged existing beliefs, combined different areas of physics, and opened up new avenues of research. His theory not only enhanced our understanding of black holes, but also underscored the interconnectedness of the universe. Chapter 6. A Growing Reputation. Stephen Hawking's discovery of black hole radiation brought him into the spotlight of the scientific world. His theory was groundbreaking, and it marked the beginning of his rise to fame. But this journey was not easy. It was a path filled with challenges, hard work, and unyielding dedication. In the mid-1970s, after presenting his theory at a major conference, Stephen started receiving invitations to speak at universities and conferences around the world. His ideas were fresh and thought-provoking, and many people wanted to hear more. Stephen was excited by these opportunities, even though travelling and giving lectures were physically demanding due to his ALS. One of Stephen's first major speaking engagements after his discovery was at the prestigious Princeton University in the United States. The hall was packed with scientists, students, and professors, all eager to hear the young physicist from Cambridge. Stephen, now using a wheelchair and a speech synthesizer, began his lecture. His voice, though mechanical, conveyed a sense of passion and intelligence. He explained his theory on black hole radiation with clarity, making complex ideas accessible to everyone in the audience. The response was overwhelmingly positive. The audience was captivated by Stephen's insights and his ability to simplify complicated concepts. After the lecture, many scientists approached him with questions and congratulations. This moment was a turning point in Stephen's career, as he gained international recognition. Stephen's work continued to receive attention. He published several important papers on black holes and the nature of the universe. Each publication added to his reputation as a leading thinker in theoretical physics. His papers were not only filled with complex equations, but also contained explanations that helped others understand the implications of his theories. One of his notable publications was a paper on the early universe. Stephen proposed that the universe had no boundaries or edges, an idea that challenged the traditional view of the universe having a definite beginning and end. This theory, known as the no-boundary proposal, suggested that the universe was finite but had no boundaries, similar to the surface of a sphere. This was another bold and innovative idea that further established Stephen's reputation as a pioneering scientist. As Stephen's fame grew, so did his responsibilities. He became a professor at Cambridge University, a position that allowed him to mentor young scientists and conduct more research. His lectures were always well attended, with students eager to learn from one of the most brilliant minds of their time. Despite his physical limitations, Stephen's enthusiasm for teaching and his ability to inspire others never waned. Stephen's work earned him numerous accolades. In 1974, he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, one of the highest honours for a scientist in the United Kingdom. This recognition was a testament to the significance of his contributions to science. Being part of the Royal Society connected Stephen with other leading scientists, providing him with more opportunities to collaborate and share ideas. A significant moment in Stephen's career came in 1979, when he was appointed the Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at Cambridge, a position once held by Sir Isaac Newton. This was a great honour and a recognition of Stephen's impact on the field of theoretical physics. The Lucasian Professorship is one of the most prestigious academic positions in the world, and holding this title placed Stephen among the most esteemed scientists in history. Despite his rising fame, Stephen remained humble and focused on his work. He continued to publish papers and present his ideas at conferences. His determination to advance our understanding of the universe was unwavering. Even as his physical condition deteriorated, his mind remained sharp, and his passion for science undiminished. In addition to his academic work, Stephen began to engage with the public more directly. He realized the importance of making science accessible to everyone, not just to those in academia. He started writing books aimed at explaining complex scientific concepts to the general public. His most famous book, A Brief History of Time, published in 1988, became an international bestseller. The book explained the origins and fate of the universe in a way that was understandable to non-scientists. It was a remarkable achievement, bridging the gap between advanced theoretical physics and popular science. A Brief History of Time brought Stephen global recognition. He appeared on television shows, participated in interviews, and attended public lectures. His ability to communicate complex ideas in a simple and engaging manner made him a beloved figure. People from all walks of life admired his intelligence, resilience, and sense of humour. Stephen's growing reputation also had a personal impact. He received letters from people all over the world expressing their admiration and gratitude. Many were inspired by his story and his determination to overcome his physical challenges. Stephen always took the time to respond to these letters, offering words of encouragement and support. Throughout his rise to fame, Stephen never lost sight of his primary goal, to understand the universe. He continued to work on new theories, always pushing the boundaries of what was known. His curiosity and drive were infectious, inspiring a new generation of scientists to explore the cosmos. Stephen's journey from a young, curious student to a world-renowned physicist was marked by perseverance, innovation, and a deep love for science. His growing reputation was not just a result of his groundbreaking theories, but also his ability to inspire others and make science accessible to all. Chapter 7. Challenges and Triumphs. Stephen Hawking's life was a constant balance between his brilliant mind and his deteriorating body. Diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21, Stephen knew he would face significant physical challenges. However, he was determined not to let the disease stop him from achieving his goals. In the early years after his diagnosis, Stephen's physical abilities declined gradually. He started using a walking stick to help him move around. As his muscles weakened, he began using a wheelchair. Despite these changes, Stephen remained active in his academic work, attending lectures, giving talks, and conducting research. One of the most significant challenges Stephen faced was communication. As ALS progressed, he lost the ability to speak clearly. This was particularly difficult for someone who loved to teach and engage in discussions. At first, he relied on a spelling board, pointing to letters to form words. This method was slow and cumbersome, but it allowed him to continue communicating his ideas. Stephen's wife, Jane, was a crucial support during this time. She helped him with daily tasks and assisted in his communication. Jane's dedication was a source of strength for Stephen, allowing him to focus on his work despite his physical limitations. Their partnership was vital in managing the practical aspects of living with ALS. As Stephen's condition worsened, he needed more advanced ways to communicate. In 1985, he contracted pneumonia, a life-threatening illness for someone with ALS. He underwent a tracheotomy, a surgical procedure that saved his life, but left him unable to speak. This was a devastating blow, but Stephen was not one to give up easily. Around this time, technology came to his aid. A computer scientist named David Mason developed a speech synthesizer that Stephen could control with a small switch. By moving his cheek, Stephen could select words and form sentences. The voice that emerged was mechanical and monotone, but it was a voice, and it allowed Stephen to communicate once again. Using the speech synthesizer, Stephen continued his work with renewed vigor. He wrote papers, gave lectures, and even wrote books. His most famous work, A Brief History of Time, was completed using this device. The book aimed to explain complex scientific concepts in a way that was accessible to the general public. It became an international bestseller, making Stephen a household name. The speech synthesizer became a part of Stephen's identity. People around the world recognized his distinctive robotic voice. It allowed him to participate in interviews, deliver lectures, and engage with audiences. Despite its limitations, the device gave Stephen the freedom to express his ideas and continue his scientific pursuits. Stephen's family played a significant role in supporting him through these challenges. Jane managed the household and cared for their 3 children. She also organized Stephen's schedule, ensuring he could balance his work and family life. Their children, Robert, Lucy, and Timothy, brought joy and normalcy to their lives, grounding Stephen and reminding him of the importance of family. Colleagues and students at Cambridge University also provided invaluable support. They assisted Stephen with his research, helped him navigate the campus, and ensured he could continue his teaching duties. The academic community respected Stephen not only for his intellect, but also for his resilience and determination. One particularly memorable moment was when Stephen presented his theory of Hawking radiation at a major scientific conference. Using his speech synthesizer, he explained how black holes could emit radiation and eventually evaporate. The audience listened intently, captivated by his insights. When he finished, they erupted in applause, recognizing the significance of his work and the challenges he had overcome to share it. Stephen's ability to adapt to his physical limitations was remarkable. He embraced technology and found innovative ways to continue his work. His determination inspired many, both within and outside the scientific community. People admired his ability to face adversity with courage and persistence. Throughout his life, Stephen's humour and wit remained intact. He often joked about his condition, finding ways to lighten the mood and put others at ease. His sense of humour was a vital part of his personality, helping him cope with the daily struggles of living with ALS. Stephen's triumphs were not limited to his scientific achievements. He also became a symbol of hope and resilience for people facing their own challenges. His story showed that it was possible to achieve great things despite physical limitations. He became a source of inspiration for people around the world, proving that the power of the mind could transcend the limitations of the body. As we reflect on Stephen's journey, we see a man who faced immense challenges but never lost sight of his goals. His determination to understand the universe drove him to overcome obstacles that would have stopped many others. Stephen's life is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the limitless possibilities of the mind. Chapter 8. Writing: A Brief History of Time. In the mid-1980s, Stephen Hawking decided to write a book. This was not just any book. Stephen wanted to explain the mysteries of the universe to ordinary people. He believed that everyone should understand the wonders of science, not just scientists. This idea led to the creation of A Brief History of Time. The process of writing the book was challenging. Stephen's ALS made it difficult for him to type or write by hand. Instead, he used a speech synthesizer to communicate his thoughts. He would painstakingly select words, letter by letter, using a small switch that he controlled with his cheek. This method was slow, but Stephen was determined. Stephen's goal was to make complex scientific ideas accessible to everyone. He wanted to explain concepts like black holes, the Big Bang, and quantum mechanics in simple terms. He knew that most people found these topics confusing, so he aimed to write in a way that was easy to understand. He began by outlining the main topics he wanted to cover. These included the nature of time, the universe's origins, and the fundamental laws of physics. Stephen worked tirelessly, often late into the night, crafting each sentence with care. He wanted to make sure that his explanations were clear and engaging. As he wrote, Stephen faced many obstacles. His health was fragile, and he often felt exhausted. However, he did not let this stop him. His passion for sharing knowledge kept him going. He received help from friends, family, and colleagues who supported him throughout the writing process. They provided feedback, helped with research, and offered encouragement. One of the key challenges was finding a balance between simplicity and accuracy. Stephen wanted to ensure that his explanations were scientifically correct, but also easy for non-scientists to grasp. This was a delicate task. but Stephen approached it with his usual determination and creativity. As the manuscript took shape, Stephen decided to include illustrations and diagrams. He believed that visual aids would help readers better understand the concepts he was discussing. He collaborated with artists and designers to create clear and informative images that complemented the text. Once the manuscript was complete, Stephen faced another challenge: finding a publisher. He knew that a book on theoretical physics might not seem like a bestseller, but he was confident in his vision. He approached several publishers, and after some initial rejections, Bantam Books agreed to publish A Brief History of Time. The editing process was rigorous. Stephen worked closely with editors to refine the manuscript. They helped ensure that the language was accessible and that the book flowed smoothly. This collaboration was crucial in making the book both informative and readable. In 1988, A Brief History of Time was finally published. Stephen was both excited and nervous about how the book would be received. He hoped that it would spark curiosity and inspire readers to learn more about the universe. The book was an instant success. To everyone's surprise, it became a bestseller, not just in scientific circles but among the general public. People from all walks of life were fascinated by Stephen's explanations of the cosmos. They appreciated his ability to make complex ideas understandable and interesting. Stephen's book was translated into many languages, reaching readers around the world. It stayed on the bestseller lists for weeks, selling millions of copies. The success of A Brief History of Time was a testament to Stephen's ability to connect with people and share his passion for science. The impact of the book went beyond sales figures. It sparked a renewed interest in science and the universe. Readers were inspired to explore further, to ask questions, and to seek out more knowledge. Stephen received countless letters from people who thanked him for opening their eyes to the wonders of the cosmos. The success of A Brief History of Time also brought Stephen into the public eye. He appeared on television shows, gave interviews, and participated in public lectures. Despite his physical limitations, he became a global ambassador for science, using his voice synthesizer to communicate with audiences around the world. One memorable moment was when Stephen appeared on the TV show The Simpsons. His cameo on the popular show introduced him to a new generation of fans and showed that science could be fun and accessible. This appearance, along with many others, helped cement Stephen's status as a cultural icon. Stephen's achievements with A Brief History of Time were not just personal triumphs. They represented a significant step forward in the popularization of science. He showed that complex scientific ideas could be communicated in a way that was both accurate and engaging. His work inspired other scientists to reach out to the public and share their knowledge. Despite the fame and recognition, Stephen remained humble. He continued his research, always seeking to understand more about the universe. He never lost sight of his primary goal: to uncover the mysteries of the cosmos and share those discoveries with the world. The success of A Brief History of Time had a lasting impact on Stephen's career and on the field of science communication. It demonstrated the power of clear and engaging writing and the importance of making science accessible to everyone. Stephen's efforts opened the door for many others to follow in his footsteps, bridging the gap between science and the public. As we reflect on Stephen's journey, we see a man who overcame immense challenges to achieve his dreams. His determination, creativity, and passion for science allowed him to share the wonders of the universe with millions of people. A Brief History of Time remains a landmark achievement, a testament to the power of knowledge and the human spirit. In the chapters to follow, we will explore Stephen's continued contributions to science, his impact on popular culture, and the legacy he left behind. His story is one of perseverance, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. It reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we can achieve greatness by staying true to our passions and believing in our potential. Chapter 9. Personal Struggles. Stephen Hawking's life was filled with remarkable achievements, but it was also marked by significant personal struggles. These challenges affected his family life and relationships, leading to both painful separations and new beginnings. Stephen married Jane Wilde in 1965. Their marriage was filled with love and mutual support, but it also faced many difficulties. As Stephen's ALS progressed, Jane took on the role of his primary caregiver. This was a demanding task, especially as Stephen's condition worsened. Jane had to manage the household, care for their 3 children, and support Stephen in his academic work. The constant pressure was exhausting, and it took a toll on their relationship. Stephen's growing fame added to the strain. His groundbreaking work and the success of A Brief History of Time brought him international recognition. He travelled frequently for conferences and public appearances, which left Jane to handle most of the responsibilities at home. The demands of his career often left little time for family life. Despite these challenges, Jane remained dedicated to Stephen. She admired his brilliance and was proud of his accomplishments. However, the emotional and physical demands of caring for Stephen became increasingly overwhelming. Jane also had her own interests and passions, which were often set aside to focus on Stephen's needs. By the late 1980s, the strain on their marriage was evident. The couple began to grow apart, finding it difficult to maintain their emotional connection amidst the daily challenges. They tried to keep their family together, but the pressures were immense. In 1990, after 25 years of marriage, Stephen and Jane decided to separate. It was a painful decision, but they both knew it was necessary. After the separation, Stephen found companionship with Elaine Mason, one of his nurses. Elaine was energetic and spirited, and she brought a new dynamic into Stephen's life. They developed a close relationship, and in 1995, Stephen and Elaine married. This new chapter brought both happiness and challenges. Elaine was devoted to Stephen and provided him with the care and support he needed. She encouraged him to continue his work and helped manage his busy schedule. However, their relationship was not without difficulties. Stephen's health continued to decline, requiring more intensive care. The demands of his condition and the complexities of their relationship created tensions. Despite these challenges, Stephen continued his scientific work. He remained a prominent figure in the academic community, contributing to our understanding of the universe. His resilience and determination were unwavering, even in the face of personal struggles. Stephen's relationship with his children also evolved during this time. The separation from Jane and his marriage to Elaine affected his family dynamics. Stephen tried to maintain a strong connection with his children, but the changes in his personal life were challenging for everyone involved. His children respected his work and admired his strength. But they also had to navigate the complexities of their family's new structure. In addition to the challenges in his personal life, Stephen faced numerous health crises. His ALS continued to progress, affecting his ability to move and communicate. He relied heavily on his wheelchair and speech synthesizer, which became his lifelines. Each health setback required significant adjustments, both for Stephen and those around him. One particularly difficult period was in 2009, when Stephen was hospitalized with a serious infection. The illness was life-threatening, and his family feared the worst. However, Stephen's incredible resilience pulled him through once again. His determination to live and continue his work was inspiring to all who knew him. Throughout these personal struggles, Stephen found solace in his scientific work. The mysteries of the universe captivated him, providing a constant source of motivation and purpose. His research and teaching were his ways of making a lasting impact on the world. Despite the challenges in his personal life, his contributions to science remained significant and influential. In 2006, Stephen and Elaine separated. Their relationship had become strained, and they decided it was best to part ways. This period was another difficult chapter in Stephen's life, but he faced it with the same resilience he had shown throughout his journey. After the separation, Stephen focused even more on his work and his relationships with his children. He continued to travel, lecture and write, sharing his passion for the cosmos with the world. His children became an essential source of support, helping him navigate the complexities of his life. Stephen's personal struggles were a testament to his strength and perseverance. Despite the many challenges he faced, he never lost sight of his goals. His dedication to science and his determination to overcome obstacles were inspiring to many. In reflecting on Stephen's life, it is clear that his personal struggles were as significant as his scientific achievements. They shaped him into the resilient and determined person he was. His ability to face adversity with courage and continue pursuing his passion for understanding the universe is a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit. Chapter 10. Public Life and Media. Stephen Hawking was not only a brilliant scientist, but also a captivating public figure. His unique voice and his wheelchair made him instantly recognizable. Despite his physical limitations, Stephen's mind was sharp, and his ability to explain complex ideas in simple terms made him a beloved figure worldwide. In the late 1980s, Stephen's book, A Brief History of Time, became an international bestseller. The success of the book brought him into the public eye. People were fascinated by his ability to discuss topics like black holes and the Big Bang in ways that were understandable and engaging. This was the beginning of Stephen's journey as a media personality. Stephen's fame grew, and he began appearing on television shows and in documentaries. One of his first major TV appearances was in a documentary based on his book. The documentary featured interviews with Stephen, where he used his speech synthesizer to explain his theories. The film brought his work to a wider audience and helped to demystify the complex concepts of cosmology. Stephen's distinctive robotic voice, produced by his speech synthesizer, became a symbol of his resilience and intelligence. Despite his physical challenges, his voice carried his thoughts and ideas to millions of people around the world. It was a testament to the power of technology in overcoming obstacles and enabling communication. In addition to documentaries, Stephen made guest appearances on popular TV shows. One of the most memorable was his appearance on The Simpsons. In the episode, he played himself, using his voice synthesizer to interact with the characters. This appearance introduced him to a new generation and showcased his sense of humor. It also highlighted how science and popular culture could intersect in entertaining ways. Stephen also appeared on Star Trek: The Next Generation. In a famous scene, he played a holographic version of himself, participating in a poker game with Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton. This appearance was symbolic, placing Stephen alongside two of the greatest minds in history. It showed that he was not only a brilliant scientist, but also a cultural icon. Stephen's media appearances were not just for entertainment. He saw them as opportunities to educate the public about science. He believed that everyone should have access to scientific knowledge and that understanding the universe could enrich people's lives. His goal was to make science accessible and exciting for everyone. Stephen's public lectures were another important aspect of his media presence. He travelled the world, giving talks on his research and theories. These lectures were well attended, drawing audiences from all walks of life. People were eager to hear him speak and to learn from one of the greatest minds of their time. One of Stephen's most significant public lectures was delivered at the White House. He was invited to speak about the future of space exploration and the importance of scientific research. This event was a highlight of his career, showcasing his role as a leading advocate for science. Stephen's ability to connect with people went beyond his scientific knowledge. He had a way of making complex ideas understandable and interesting. His lectures were filled with anecdotes and humor, making them engaging for his audience. He often used simple analogies to explain difficult concepts, helping people to grasp the fundamental ideas behind his work. Despite his fame, Stephen remained humble and approachable. He enjoyed interacting with people and answering their questions. He received countless letters from fans around the world, many of whom were inspired by his story. Stephen always took the time to respond, offering words of encouragement and support. Stephen's impact on popularizing science was immense. He inspired many people to take an interest in the universe and to appreciate the beauty of scientific discovery. His work showed that science was not just for experts, but for everyone. He believed that understanding the cosmos could bring people together and help them to see their place in the universe. In addition to his media appearances, Stephen wrote several more books aimed at a general audience. These books continued his mission of making science accessible. Titles like The Universe in a Nutshell and The Grand Design explored complex topics in a way that was easy to understand. These books were well received and further cemented Stephen's reputation as a great communicator of science. Stephen's role in popularizing science extended to his involvement in various scientific organizations. He supported initiatives to improve science education and to encourage young people to pursue careers in science and technology. He believed that the future depended on the next generation of scientists and that it was essential to inspire and educate them. One of Stephen's lasting legacies was the way he used his platform to raise awareness about important scientific and social issues. He spoke out about the dangers of climate change, the importance of space exploration, and the need for global cooperation in science. His voice was a powerful advocate for progress and innovation. Stephen's emergence as a public figure and media personality was a significant part of his life. It allowed him to reach millions of people and to share his passion for science. His appearances on TV shows, in documentaries, and at public lectures made him a beloved figure around the world. He showed that science could be exciting and accessible, and that anyone could understand the mysteries of the universe. As we continue to explore Stephen's remarkable journey, we will see how his work and his public presence influenced the field of cosmology, and how he remained a central figure in the scientific community. His story is one of perseverance, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. It reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we can achieve greatness by staying true to our passions and believing in our potential. Chapter 11. Later Years and Legacy. In his later years, Stephen Hawking continued to amaze the world with his work and reflections on the universe. Despite his physical limitations, he remained active in the scientific community and never stopped exploring the mysteries of the cosmos. Stephen's ALS progressed over time, making his movements and communication even more difficult. Yet, his mind stayed sharp, and his passion for science burned brighter than ever. He continued to use his speech synthesizer, which had become an essential tool for him. Through this device, Stephen communicated complex ideas, wrote books, and gave lectures. His perseverance was inspiring, showing that physical challenges did not limit his intellectual capabilities. During this period, Stephen published several more books, sharing his thoughts on the universe, time, and our place within it. One of these books, The Grand Design, co-authored with Leonard Mlodinow, tackled big questions about the origins of the universe. Stephen and Leonard argued that the universe could create itself from nothing due to the laws of physics. This idea sparked discussions and debates, showing that Stephen's work continued to challenge and intrigue the scientific community. Stephen also reflected deeply on life and the universe. He often spoke about the importance of curiosity and the human desire to understand the world around us. In his book, Brief Answers to the Big Questions, published shortly before his death, Stephen addressed some of the most profound questions people have about existence, such as the possibility of alien life, the future of artificial intelligence, and what happens after we die. His insights were both thought-provoking and accessible, making complex ideas understandable to a broad audience. As Stephen grew older, he became even more committed to sharing his knowledge with others. He participated in numerous public lectures and events, often drawing large crowds eager to hear his thoughts. Stephen's ability to explain difficult concepts in simple terms made him a beloved figure worldwide. He believed that everyone should have access to scientific knowledge, and he worked tirelessly to make this a reality. One of Stephen's notable contributions during his later years was his work on the information paradox related to black holes. This paradox involved what happens to information that falls into a black hole, given that according to the laws of physics, information cannot be destroyed. Stephen proposed new theories that suggested ways in which information could be preserved, even if it seemed to disappear into a black hole. His work on this topic demonstrated his relentless curiosity and his ability to tackle some of the most challenging questions in physics. Stephen's legacy extends beyond his scientific contributions. He was a symbol of resilience and the power of the human spirit. Despite his severe disability, he lived a full and impactful life. His story inspired millions of people around the world, showing that determination and passion can overcome even the most daunting obstacles. Stephen passed away on March 14, 2018, at the age of 76. His death was a great loss to the world, but his legacy continues to inspire. Scientists, students, and ordinary people remember him not only for his groundbreaking work but also for his courage and humour. One of the most significant aspects of Stephen's legacy is the way he made science accessible to the general public. His books, lectures, and media appearances brought complex scientific ideas into homes around the world. He showed that science could be exciting and that anyone could understand the wonders of the universe if explained clearly. Stephen's efforts helped to create a more scientifically literate society, fostering curiosity and encouraging people to ask big questions. Stephen's influence is also seen in the next generation of scientists. Many young researchers cite him as an inspiration, motivated by his work and his story. His achievements demonstrated that science is a field open to anyone with curiosity and determination, regardless of physical limitations. Institutions around the world have honoured Stephen's contributions. The Stephen Hawking Centre for Theoretical Cosmology at Cambridge University continues his work, pushing the boundaries of our understanding of the universe. Awards, scholarships, and lectures named after him encourage young scientists to follow in his footsteps. Stephen's reflections on life and the universe continue to resonate. He often spoke about the need for humanity to look outward, to explore space, and to ensure our survival as a species. His warnings about the dangers of climate change and the importance of sustainable living are more relevant than ever. Stephen believed in the potential of human ingenuity to solve the problems we face, and his words continue to inspire efforts toward a better future. Stephen's personal story of overcoming adversity has also left a lasting impact. His resilience in the face of ALS showed that it is possible to achieve greatness despite physical challenges. His life story is a powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit and the importance of never giving up. As we reflect on Stephen's later years and his legacy, we see a man who dedicated his life to understanding the universe and sharing that knowledge with others. His work continues to influence science, and his story continues to inspire people around the world. Stephen Hawking's contributions to science and his ability to communicate complex ideas to the public have left an indelible mark on our understanding of the cosmos and our place within it. Stephen's journey reminds us that curiosity, determination, and the desire to explore can lead to incredible discoveries. His legacy lives on in the minds he has inspired, the scientific advancements he has made possible, and the enduring message that the pursuit of knowledge is a journey worth taking. Chapter 12. Inspiration and Impact. Stephen Hawking's impact on the world extends far beyond his groundbreaking scientific discoveries. His life and work have inspired countless people across the globe, both within the scientific community and beyond. This final chapter reflects on how Stephen's legacy continues to influence and inspire. Stephen's work in theoretical physics, especially his theories on black holes and the origins of the universe, transformed our understanding of the cosmos. His discovery of Hawking radiation showed that black holes could emit radiation and gradually lose mass, which was a groundbreaking revelation. This idea not only advanced the field of cosmology, but also bridged the gap between quantum mechanics and general relativity. Beyond his scientific contributions, Stephen's ability to communicate complex ideas in simple terms made science accessible to a broad audience. His book, A Brief History of Time, was a bestseller, captivating readers with its clear explanations of the universe's mysteries. The book's success showed that there was a widespread interest in understanding science, and it paved the way for more scientists to share their knowledge with the public. Stephen's lectures and public appearances further cemented his role as a communicator of science. He spoke at universities, conferences, and public events around the world, often to packed audiences. His lectures were not just informative but also engaging, filled with humour and personal anecdotes. He had a unique ability to make people excited about science, encouraging them to explore and ask questions. One of Stephen's most significant impacts was his role as a symbol of resilience and determination. Diagnosed with ALS at a young age, he was given only a few years to live. However, he defied the odds and continued his work for more than 5 decades. His perseverance in the face of such a debilitating disease inspired many, showing that physical limitations do not define one's abilities or potential. Stephen's story resonated with people facing their own challenges. He demonstrated that with determination, support, and a positive attitude, it is possible to overcome obstacles and achieve great things. His life was a testament to the power of the human spirit, and he became a role model for anyone dealing with adversity. In the scientific community, Stephen's influence is profound. Many young scientists were inspired by his work and his story. His groundbreaking theories opened new avenues of research and encouraged others to think creatively and challenge existing ideas. Stephen's approach to science, characterized by curiosity and a willingness to tackle difficult problems, continues to inspire researchers today. Stephen also played a significant role in popularizing science and encouraging public interest in scientific research. He believed that understanding the universe was a fundamental part of being human and that everyone should have the opportunity to learn about it. His efforts to make science accessible have had a lasting impact, fostering a greater appreciation for scientific inquiry among the general public. Stephen's impact can also be seen in popular culture. His appearances on TV shows like The Simpsons and Star Trek: The Next Generation introduced him to new audiences and highlighted his sense of humour. These appearances showed that scientists could be approachable and fun, breaking down stereotypes and making science more relatable. In addition to his scientific and cultural impact, Stephen's advocacy for various causes left a lasting legacy. He spoke out about the importance of addressing climate change, the need for sustainable living, and the potential dangers and benefits of artificial intelligence. His voice added weight to these discussions, encouraging people to consider the ethical and societal implications of scientific and technological advancements. Stephen's life and work also had a profound impact on education. Schools and universities around the world use his books and lectures to teach students about physics and cosmology. His story is often included in curriculums to inspire students to pursue careers in science and to show them that, with passion and perseverance, they can achieve their dreams. Institutions like the Stephen Hawking Centre for Theoretical Cosmology at Cambridge University continue his legacy by advancing research in cosmology and supporting young scientists. Scholarships and awards named in his honour encourage and recognise excellence in scientific research. ensuring that his influence will continue to inspire future generations. Stephen's legacy is also preserved through the numerous documentaries and films about his life and work. These films not only highlight his scientific achievements, but also his personal journey, making his story accessible to a wide audience. They serve as a reminder of his contributions to science and his enduring impact on the world. As we reflect on Stephen Hawking's life, we see a man who made incredible contributions to our understanding of the universe and who inspired millions with his resilience and determination. His work continues to influence the field of cosmology, and his efforts to make science accessible have left a lasting legacy. Stephen's story is a powerful reminder of the importance of curiosity, determination, and the pursuit of knowledge. He showed that with passion and perseverance, it is possible to overcome even the greatest challenges and make a lasting impact on the world. Stephen Hawking's life and work have left an indelible mark on both science and society. His theories have expanded our understanding of the universe, and his ability to communicate complex ideas has made science accessible to countless people. His resilience in the face of adversity has inspired many, and his legacy continues to influence and inspire future generations. As we conclude this journey through Stephen's remarkable life, we are reminded of the power of the human spirit and the importance of never giving up on our dreams. Stephen Hawking's story is one of curiosity, determination, and brilliance, and it will continue to inspire and motivate people for years to come.